In our previous episode, we recounted how King Yu of Zhou, in an attempt to amuse his concubine Bo Si, deliberately lit the beacon fires, tricking the feudal lords into rushing to the rescue. Now, when the enemy forces truly attacked, King Yu panicked and hastily ordered the beacons on Mount Li to be lit. The fires burned brightly, but the feudal lords, having been deceived before, ignored them. Thick smoke rose from the beacon towers by day, and flames lit up the sky at night, yet no reinforcements arrived. When the enemy forces reached the capital, Haiyojing, the defending troops were few and could only put up a weak resistance before being scattered and forced to flee. The enemy soldiers flooded into the city like a tide, killing King Yu and seizing Bo Si, the concubine who never smiled. Only then did the feudal lords realize that the enemy had truly breached Haiyojing. They united and led large armies to the rescue. Seeing the approaching forces, the enemy commander ordered his troops to plunder the treasures and wealth the Zhou dynasty had accumulated over the years, set fire to the city, and retreated. The Central Plains feudal lords repelled the enemy and installed the former crown prince as the new son of heaven, King Ping of Zhou. The lords then returned to their respective fiefdoms. However, as soon as they left, the enemy attacked again, seizing most of the western territories of the Zhou dynasty. Fearing that the capital could not be defended, King Ping moved the capital to Luoy in 770 BC. Since Haiyojing was in the west, and Luoy in the east, historians refer to the period when Haiyojing was the capital as the Western Zhou, and the subsequent period as the Eastern Zhou. The Eastern Zhou is further divided into the Spring and Autumn period and the Warring States period. During the Spring and Autumn period, the Zhou royal house declined. Though the Zhou king was nominally the sovereign of all states, his actual status was no higher than that of a mid-ranking feudal lord. The stronger states annexed smaller ones by force, while major powers frequently fought over territory. The victorious lords could command others, earning the title of hegemon. The first hegemon of the Spring and Autumn period was the state of Qi. Already a major power, Qi further prospered by utilizing coastal resources, developing its productive forces, and strengthening its national power. In 686 BC, Qi experienced an internal conflict in which Duke Shang of Qi was assassinated. Duke Shang had two brothers, Prince Ju, who was in the state of Lu, and Prince Xiaobai, who was in the state of Ru. Each had a mentor. Prince Juyus was Guanzhong, while Prince Xiaobis was Bo Shuya. Upon hearing of Duke Shang's death, both princes rushed back to Qi to claim the throne. Duke Zhuang of Lu decided to escort Prince Ju personally. Guanzhong advised, Prince Xiaobai is in Ru, close to Qi. If he enters Qi first, we'll be in trouble. Let me lead a force to intercept him. As expected, Prince Xiaobai was returning on the Ru's escort when Guanzhong ambushed him. Drawing his bow, Guanzhong shot an arrow at Xiaobai, who cried out and collapsed in his carriage. Believing Xiaobai dead, Guanzhong leisurely escorted Prince Ju back to Qi. Unbeknownst to him, the arrow had only struck Xiaobu's clothing. His collapse was a ruse. By the time Prince Ju and Guanzhong entered Qi, Xiaobai and Bao Shuja had already taken a shortcut to the capital, where Xiaobi ascended the throne as Duke Huan of Qi. After his coronation, Duke Huan immediately attacked Lu, forcing Duke Zhuang to execute Prince Ju and send Guanzhong to Qi as a prisoner. Bo Shuja, however, recommended Guanzhong to Duke Huan. The Duke angrily retorted, Guanzhong tried to kill me. How can I use him? Bo Shuja replied, he was loyal to Prince Jiu. In skill, he surpasses me. If you seek greatness, Guanzhong is indispensable. Duke Huan, magnanimous, not only pardoned Guanzhong but appointed him prime minister. Under Guanzhong's guidance, Qi reformed its governance, expanded iron mining, improved farming tools and techniques, and mass-produced salt by boiling seawater. Distant states relied on Qi for salt and seafood, ensuring Qi's prosperity. Aspiring to hegemony, Duke Huan asked Guanzhong, with strong troops and ample supplies, can we convene the lords to form an alliance? Guanzhong replied, as fellow vassals under the Zhou king, none would submit. Though the king's power wanes, he remains supreme. If you convene the lords in his name to resist invaders and aid the weak, they will acclaim you as hegemon. Duke Huan agreed and sent envoys to the newly enthroned King Shi of Zhou, proposing to stabilize the troubled state of Song. King Shi, pleased by Qi's deference, authorized Duke Huan to declare Song's rightful ruler. In 681 BC, under the king's mandate, Duke Huan summoned lords to a meeting in Qi. Only for states Song, Chen, Qi, and Zhu attended, while others like Lue, Cao, and Zheng hesitated. At the meeting, Duke Huan was elected leader, and the alliance pledged to uphold the Zhou king, defend against invasions, and assist weaker states. Thus began Duke Huan's rise as hegemon. Despite his ambitions, Duke Huan suffered a setback in 684 BC when attacking Lu. Infuriated by Qi's aggression, Duke Zhuang of Lu resolved to fight back. A commoner named Cao Gui volunteered to advise him. When asked how Lu could resist, Duke Zhuang cited sharing luxuries and piety in sacrifices. But Cao Gui dismissed these as insufficient. Only when the Duke mentioned fair justice did Cao Gui approve, saying, this wins hearts we can fight. At the Battle of Changshao, Cao Gui delayed Lu's counterattack until Qi's troops had drummed 3 times. Exhausting their morale, Lu then struck fiercely, routing Qi. Kaogui further ensured the retreat wasn't a feint before allowing pursuit. His strategy secured victory, though Qi's later dominance remained unchallenged. Years later, Qi rescued Yan from the Shanrong tribe, guiding lost troops out of a maze using local horses. Qi also aided Xing and Wei against the Di tribe, boosting Duke Huan's prestige. Only Ku in the south resisted, leading Qi and 7 allies to confront it. In 656 BC, Ku's envoy questioned the invasion, citing the distance. Guanzhong rebuked Su for ceasing tribute of thatching grass to Zhou. The envoy conceded, and after a show of force at Jiaoling, both sides agreed to a truce. Later, Duke Huan helped Crown Prince Jizang secure the throne as King Shang of Zhou, who rewarded him with sacrificial meat. At the Qi summit, Duke Huan convened lords one last time, establishing a pact for mutual aid and disaster relief. After Guanzhong's death in 645 BC and Duke Huan's 2 years later, Qi descended into civil war among his sons, ending its hegemony. Prince Zhao fled to Song, marking the close of Qi's golden age. As you can see, historical China was made up of countless small states that fought endless wars against each other, gradually merging into the China we know today. Over these thousands of years of integration, countless fascinating stories unfolded. I'm a Chinese high school student, and in my free time, I create this video to share the stories I find most intriguing, thought-provoking, and fun stories that will help you understand China better. Thank you for your attention and support.